What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another great episode of Be More. This is where we talk about being better, wiser, stronger, just all the with your videos and live stream. Truth be told, you should be in life in general, but right now we're just talking about video, live stream, and media. And it is not just me. I have the incomparable Shawanna Kennedy, and we're going to talk about gatekeeping right after this.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire.
Okay, so we're back and we're going to talk about gatekeeping when it comes to video and live stream and social media and some other stuff. But let me bring on the guest of the hour, Shawanna K.
Hello, Dr. Tachi, and to each of you, I am Shawanna Kennedy. I am graced to be able to be the creative director, video productions director for Kennedy Media, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs just like you be seen, heard, paid, and known for their brilliance. And that's why I love having these engaging conversations with you, Dr. Tachi, so that we can peel back some layers to help the viewers, the creators, to see what it is and why they can even do what they do better. So these conversations help us to be more in everything that we get to do. So let's talk about this gatekeeping. What are we talking about?
They absolutely do help us to be more with everything that we do. So gatekeeping. This came about. Let me tell you how this came about. Okay, I'm going to bring myself forward just for a moment. So I was in a challenge recently. For those of you who know me, you know I adore professional development. I love learning. I exist to better myself, hence the be more. I'm always striving to be a better version of me. So anytime there is a training, a challenge that I think is going to help with what I do business-wise and knowledge-wise, I take it. So recently I took a challenge. I participated in a challenge that was aimed at helping us with offers. Now I've been in a bunch of offer challenges. This is something that just came across my screen, of course, on social media. This person did an amazing job with advertising. So I said, well, you know what? Why not? I'm already in a mastermind that's dealing with offers. No problem. But I think we can learn from other people. This person was engaging and energetic. Fine. I signed up for it. It was was it a week long? I think it was a week long. Was it 3 days? No, it was a 5-day challenge, right? So we had homework that we had to do. And this is why I like challenges, because it challenges you. It forces you to get something done on a deadline toward that. So, consequently, by the time this was over, I had another offer ready to go. It's just now launching it, but I had something ready to go. Here's the thing with this. While we were in our session, we noticed amongst ourselves how amazing people were. Everybody was a business owner, had different things they wanted to do. And we were like, wow, these people are just great. One of the members of the cohort, was it a cohort? The 5-day challenge said, hey, is it okay if we put our social media accounts here so we can start to follow each other and engage with each other? This teacher said, if I were you, I would not. Because if you become so engrossed with following each other on social media, that's all you do when you don't do the work. So okay, fine. I'll say that. I'll say maybe that's a thing. So now, Shawanna, I'm going to bring you back on so we can talk about this. Maybe that's a thing, okay? But first of all, I said in my head, well, you can't tell me what to do. If I want to contact other people, I'm going to contact other people, and nothing you can say is going to stop me from that. But when I taught, our mutual coach, Shay Cannon, when I told her about that, she said, well, it sounds like this person is trying to keep you all from each other so that he has access to you only through the group, or that you have access to each other only through the group, right? Only through that training or whatever else he's selling. And then further, she said, it also sounds like this person has expertise in a method, but not in the overall field. So they know the one method, so they have to gatekeep because all they know is the one method. When I said, darn it, you are 100% right. So that kind of turned me off, because why are you gatekeeping people from each other? Thoughts on that? That's where this conversation came from today.
Being on both sides, working with people and just being a consumer of things, right? In my search for, like you said, knowledge and understanding and better even honing our crafts. What I've seen and I've discovered, to me, is dressed up insecurity. Because when some people are holding those things that they know could be the keys to someone else's success, now don't get me wrong, I'm all about people being okay to invest in their growth for their business. I'm all about giving the who, the what, the why, and making them pay for the how. But if all you have is that one thing, you really need to get some more stuff behind the gates, if you will. Hello? Because then that way, that may be that program. Those are the things that make them want to know more about you. If you go ahead and offer that thing for free, if we're at a 10, we should be okay to help somebody get to a 5, get to a 7, get to a 9. Some people, that is the insecurity, because they only want you to win as long as you don't go further than they currently are. And so that's where I believe, and I've felt it for myself, where some people, I believe, hold things closer to the vest, especially if they believe that you may rise above where they are. So yeah, sometimes that's just dressed up insecurity.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And, it's interesting because I've seen a lot of this type of thing, especially in the field we're in, right? I have no need to feel insecure, because here's the thing. What's for you is for you. What you know is what you know, and it may not be what other people know. You know how many people do what we do, but they do it differently in different ways?
Yeah.
So whereas Shawanna and I, for all intents and purposes, are in the same field. However, there are differences. So while we both know how to run live streams, we both know how to do, about different platforms, etc. We both understand presence on camera and teaching people those type of things. That the presence on camera is what Shawanna has leaned into. So I know it, and I know it very well, but she's leaned into that. Conversely, my whole life has been as a videographer, cinematographer. So I understand the equipment in a way she may not, because she's not a cinematographer / videographer, right? But we're doing the same thing, but we have expertise in different areas. So that's okay. So we're often in the same spaces. So you have to be secure enough in the information that you know to say, hey, you should sign up for that. Don't I tell you about stuff all the time?
You do.
And you tell me about stuff?
Yes.
Because we're both secure in our knowledge of video, our knowledge of live streaming, and know that there is room, there is food enough for everyone to eat. Jesus turned the 5 fishes to everything. Go ahead.
Real quick, because oftentimes, like you just so beautifully explained, how we're similar yet different. Yeah. And when we think about, people always saying, well, why can't I get a piece of the pie? Forget the piece of the pie. It's okay for you to have your own pie, because there is a lane for all of us, each of us. I believe that we are so uniquely designed, right? That there are people that I'm called to help, that even if they heard Dr. Tachi, not that she can't teach them from A to Z, they may need to hear it coming from me, and the same with her. And that's why when people say it's oversaturated, it's been done already. No, it hasn't been done, baby, because that means whatever you called to do, that you're not doing it, so it hasn't been done yet. And so that's why we have to be okay to say, open the gate. It's time to open the gate. And if you're a person that's holding some things and you're wondering maybe why you're not scaling, this could actually be why, because God should be able to trust us. And he needs to be able to trust us with the keys, trust us with the tools, trust us with the resources, that at a certain point, you have to be okay to share that with someone else who is coming up the ranks behind us, beside us, and may even supersede us.
Thank you. So let me say this: when we're determining what to share. Shawanna said this really well. It's the what, the when, the where, the why. The how is what you teach and what you monetize. Okay. So that's one thing when you're determining what to share. I think also that when you specialize, see, there's such a thing as a division of labor, right? There's such a thing as a division of labor. And so when you specialize in a particular aspect of things, you could be a generalist, but people then know you for, oh, this person is bomb when it comes to XYZ. They can edit their way out of a paper bag. They can do. So when you specialize in things, know everything, right? Understand everything. But if you have a specialty, that's what the niching, right? Shay loves to talk about niching. So that niching down where you know something about the entire field, but you have a specialty. That's where that thing is, right? So there's no need to, as she said, basically what's for you is for you. There are certain people that are going to gravitate toward you as an instructor, etc. And then there are certain people that will gravitate towards someone else, and that is okay. That just means those students are not for you. So when it comes to the how, again, you should be charging for that. But if somebody's asking a quick question, and Shawanna, you can tell me that this is why you have to structure yourself like a business, because if you're not, then Shawnna, that's a made up name, Shawnna, Vicarious and them will come and try to, quote, pick your brain for things. Well, no, there's the Pick Your Brain is an 11-minute session, which you can sign up for on the website, right? So you can determine, maybe it's a give-take situation, maybe it's a barter situation where you're giving some information and the other person is also giving you some information. That's payment, that's fine. It's however you decide, but beware of those individuals who are like, well, I just wanted to talk to you for a minute. I haven't made any formal appointment, just calling you out of the blue to ask you about, hey, no, I'm sorry, this is what I do. Can you drop in on a doctor's office that way and say, hey, I just wanted to? You cannot. You need to make an appointment unless you're going to an urgent care or going to an emergency room, for which you will pay dearly.
The premium.
So that kind of act, the premium.
The premium go up.
Exactly. So think about it that way. If somebody's coming to you, they just come out of the blue, think about yourself like the emergency room or urgent care. You're going to pay for a dealer because you got immediate access, right? So you need to make an appointment. That's a whole other conversation we can get into, but I really wanted to delve into this whole thing today about gatekeeping the information. So have you had instances where people come to you for information and you've been wondering how much to give, and how did you deal with that?
When I think back, especially in the beginning of my journey, whether it was me coaching and then moving on to, of course, scaling the business, and because I am a giver, so that's why we have to really know ourselves. If you have, let's say you have 10 steps, it is really where having documentation, having forms, things that you talk about. And if there's 5 questions or 10 questions, knowing that you don't go beyond a certain number of questions that you even allow in a free chat. Because I have been so guilty, because I'm a giver of information, and I'm so happy where pretty much by the time we've gotten off the call, if they know a little bit of something, they could take the information that I provide and it will be a great start for them. So I know that when I think about business, it has hurt me in the beginning. However, right now, that's one of the things that I still pray, that if God is allowing me to still share certain information during a discovery call, I then listen to the voice of God as in the information that I share beyond a certain point. because in some cases, not being the gatekeeper is then maybe I may just need to be that little bitty planted seed, because I do believe what is for me is for me. And there is a lot of people that have used my services by way of a referral from even people who have never used my services. Let me say that again. There are people who refer me all the time, and because of their business, it may not be structured so much so that they need my services. However, because of the conversation, because of the information that I share and just trying to help them to elevate where they are, that they give qualified leads and referrals that allow my business to be as successful as it is today. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I want to go back to the point about that you were talking about. When we're doing these things, those of us that are content creators or we're in media in some way, shape, or form, you are there, yes, for you, but you're also there to ensure that the field continues, and you're there for the good of the field. If the people who are currently in the field are not sharing, are not reaching back, then the field doesn't thrive, right? And I will give you an example. So there was a younger videographer that I was going to, I had a bigger job that I needed to do and I needed some help. So I was going to employ him to work with me on this thing. Fine. Really great videographer, was still was in college, had been in the military and then went to college. But I could tell that this person was a type of person that felt he already knew a lot. And in my head, I'm like, well, if you did, then I would see you on some video set somewhere, not doing what, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with doing what you do, doing things small. That's not it. But the thing is, you're not there yet. So when versus me, that for my entire adult life, I've been doing this now, that I still don't know everything or a lot. Let's just say that I know some things. I know a good amount of things. So this individual was like, when I was asking, all right, so what are your plans with this? What are you trying to do? And he said, well, me and my business partners, we're trying to really get the video game on lock down here. So when I say video game, really more industrials for companies and things like that. So that may be shooting some commercials, those types of things. So when I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? He said, well, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to, not charge a lot so that we could get everybody on lock. I was so quiet for the longest time. And I said, you realize when you do that, you mess it up for everybody else, all the other videographers that are here, because then they think that drone work should be $200 for 500 hours of drone work when you do stuff like that. So you have to keep in mind, it's not just about you. This whole thing of gatekeeping and understanding, it's not just about you. That's why I open my mouth. That's why when people that are new ask, well, what should I charge for XYZ? Right? And we've had this conversation.
I was just about to
We've had this conversation.
Yes, we have.
I was like, no, that's too damn cheap, Shawanna.
Look, I called her and say, hey, this is what they're asking. What's your thoughts? And we really should have those people in our community, because that's another thing about gatekeeping. It hurts the community if you're not willing to share. If I can't go to my neighbor who I know and they can say, yeah, here's that egg that if you use this tool, i.e. egg, this will make that recipe taste a whole lot better, look a whole lot sweeter if you do just this one thing right here. Yeah.
Exactly. And you become the face of the industry, right? All of us are the face of the industry. So if somebody does bad video, if somebody charges 2 cents for their work, that affects everyone in the industry. So we have to be careful of that. And that's why of course I gatekeep certain things. I'm not going to sit, or what do you all say in the South? I'm not finna sit on the phone with you for half an hour and give you free game and everything, and you haven't paid me. That's not finna happen. That's not gonna happen.
There has to be an exchange. There has to be an exchange.
There has to be an exchange.
There has to be an exchange.
Exactly. But what I will do is, if somebody comes to me and says, look, I really don't know what to charge for this. All right, well, let's sit down. Let's talk about what industry standard is. Let's talk about what you come to the table with. When people come to the table for me, you're getting a whole PhD. You think I'm going to give it away for peanuts? No. You're getting my years of experience in theory, as well as my practical experience in videography, etc. So you're getting something completely different. And see, the way I'm talking is the way you need to be talking as a person. Figure out what you're worth. This also goes to worth, right? All of that. So this is why I don't gatekeep certain things, because I want for the field to thrive and to grow. I want for those that are coming in, the younger people that are coming in, newer people, not even younger, but newer people that are coming in, I want them to be able to know what they're worth and to understand this is what happens, because that keeps the field thriving, right? That's my 2 cents or 10 cents.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking while you were talking to it, it made me think about gatekeeping. Sometimes that could be used as a enemy of legacy.
Explain that.
Because when we sit on certain things, and when I say, okay, gatekeeping can be the enemy of legacy, because if you're successful and you're not feeding the tree or planting other seeds, that means everything will die with you. That's just like when you think about a parent and certain things that we teach our children, or that we go on to help someone else. That's how things can live on. That hurts the legacy when we say, I'm going to be a hoarder. When you're a hoarder, you're hurting yourself, right? You're definitely hurting the other people, but you're actually hurting yourself too. So that's why people talk about legacy all the time. What seeds are we planting? Sometimes we're just planting the seed, and we allow, of course, God to give the increase. But when you do that, you hurt your legacy. So think about that the next time you say, it won't hurt me, and it's not costing me nothing to share this piece of advice. Give them one of the 5 keys, right? Because even in the how, I'll go back to me saying the who, the what, the when, the where, and then people investing, because it's not paying, it's an investment in what it is that you're doing. If you know that your how process could actually be what 5 steps, 5 modules, 5 processes, all of the things, it just to even make them to say, this is why not share a portion of that number 1 step, right? Because you already know that they were going to have to come to you or someone like you to get the rest of that process. So it doesn't hurt you anyway. It helps you in that it helps, one, build your reputation. It helps to give you more experience. It helps to put more things under your belt, because like you said, you want to be the person to say, hey, I remember a time, because I'm big on self-care, mental well-being, and personal empowerment. Before there was ever a pandemic, Shawanna had, and I have one around here somewhere, my pom-pom, where it stands for power over mindset, power over me, where I was talking about the importance of self-care and mental well-being before a shutdown, before a lock-in, because of my own walk in self-aware and self-discovery journey. So when we were on lockdown and people needed people to show up virtually, who were they thinking about? Who came to top of mind? Shawanna Kennedy, because I talked about putting yourself first. I talked about making yourself a priority in your life and what that looks like and feel like, and how we show up today when we don't care for ourselves. We talking about gatekeeping. If you're behind the gates and not taking care of yourself, it don't matter what you can do, because you're gonna be back behind the gates needing some assistance. And we talked about urgent care and all of those things. You're gonna be needing some emergency assistance. And if you have not been sharing and spreading the wealth, no one is going to answer the call when you might need some help. How about that?
Hello. Reciprocity. That's the word. I don't think reciprocation is a word, but I made it one. Reciprocation or reciprocity. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
So as we kind of wind this conversation down, so we talked about both ends, but I want to talk about a little bit more about the end of you are an individual and you are seeking help with video, live stream, wanting to show up better on social media. Something to look for are the people that are definitely willing to share. Look at what I'm doing and look at what Shawanna's doing. We're doing a Be More together. She also has her own video series that she talks about. We're giving information out there and we're not charging for that. There's information that is out there to help you be better in what you do. If you want something deeper, then you work with us in a different way, like in a group setting or one-on-one, right? That's a different thing. So look for people who are already out there sharing. Already, because I don't know that you're going to be a good coach for me based off of your commercial. I only know because I see you doing other things. I see you have a video series where you're talking about a specific thing. I see you do a live stream every Saturday talking about that. And guess what? People are like, oh, well, that's giving everything away. Well, then my friend, you only know a method and you don't know the field. Then you need to get better in the field if that's the thing. But for those of us that are looking for people, look for people that are already sharing on social media, that already have things out there, that may already have a book. They've got some content out there that lets you know what they know that what they're talking about. And I'd like to know more, right? I want to know more. If you come up against somebody like the challenge leader that I came up against that was trying to gatekeep us from each other, that's a red flag, in my opinion. The person may not view it as a red flag, but it is. Why are you so intent on us not getting together? So if you do go through something like a challenge or whatever like that, and they don't want you to contact each other, why? Well, what are you afraid of? So look for those types of things. Beware, because whoever is teaching you, you are the biggest reflection of their abilities. So if you fail, it could be that you're lazy, but if you fail or you don't do well, and this is the same case for a lot of other people, then that instructor may not have done the job to the best of their abilities. Take this from somebody who's been teaching on the college level since 2001. So any last things you have to share with us, Shawanna? And then I'm going to ask you to share your info with the audience.
Yeah, just thinking about this, it's if we know that we have something that someone really needs, it's just really don't be the reason someone else is stuck. Don't be the cause for their hold up when you know that you hold the blueprint to their blessing, to their breakthrough. I'm not saying give it all away. However, I'm pretty sure if we all looked in our vaults, in our chests, that there are things that people can really get the boost that they need, the momentum that they need so that they can go out and they can be greater, right? Be better. So yeah, don't be the reason someone else is stuck. You holding the blueprint and you know that you're part of the breakthrough. Remember, there is bigger blessings on the other side of our obedience when we're okay to give certain information away. It's like give it away, because if you believe the same God that gave you that, you can trust and believe he is definitely going to download something more and something greater. It's just like when you think about your closet, and as not only the seasons change, but sometimes we change. It's like give something away so that you can make room for more. Because if you are a person that share information, if that's all you have, baby, I'm telling you, you need to go a little bit deeper, because there should always be something else that you are working on, so that initial thing that was that boost for your business, that could be the platform, that could be the thing that you use to propel you to get those people into the programs that you have. So don't be the reason someone else is stuck. Be okay to help them in their breakthrough. Yeah.
Help them with the blueprint for their breakthrough. And don't be a one-trick pony. You better know something else besides that one thing.
Yes.
And if you don't learn, Don't put your services out there until you are comprehensive.
Yeah.
That's another thing. This is a whole other be more, but can we get ourselves together before?
It can be scary.
Yeah.
We have to say that it can be scary, especially if you're just starting out and you're like, I got this one thing, and I know this one's gonna jump off, this one's gonna pop off. But while you're working on that, you should already be saying,
you should be working on other stuff.
What's the next level to even that thing? And we should always be in that place of saying, there is more. Get it? There is always more. There is higher levels. Look, there's levels to this, just like there's a cost to this. And so exactly. Just don't hold up someone else's breakthrough. Yep.
Listen, this has been a conversation for the ages. Did you give your info?
No, well, I'm
okay. How about I was like, wait a minute, did you give your info? Well, she's about to, so give your info. I know we do this every time, but some people may be just joining for the first time. So give us your deets, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Again, I am Shawanna Kennedy. I am the Video Productions Director for KennedyMediaLLC.com, where I get to help business owners and individuals just like you to be seen, heard, and known for their brilliance by way of video visibility. Yes, we do things online with social media and social media management. However, I understand the importance and the power of when you step forward and come from behind the scenes, and you as the business owner, you as the brand face, begin to show up and show out so that they can feel and hear your message. So yeah, it's time for you to be seen, be heard, and known for what it is you're doing so that you could be greater. I'm Shawanna Kennedy.
I love that. Please make sure you get at Shawanna if you have any questions about what she does, or me. We're going to start promoting ourselves more. You could work with either one of us when it comes to improving your videos or live streams, presence on camera with equipment, all of that. So get at both of us. And shameless plug, watch Indie Suit Media. Shawanna has a great show on there. Wait, I'm pointing. There we go. Shawanna has a great show, 2 great shows on there. You First and C-Suite CEO Chat. Say that 5 times fast. So make sure you are watching those on Mondays beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And with that, I'm going to let you all go because you've been so gracious with your time. But I'm hoping this conversation and all of our collective conversations and the series helps you to be more with your videos and live streams. Until next time, my friends, cheers.